Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers, and today is video 6 in our Live in Large series where we're making a large, sort of a traveler size folio, or traveler's notebook style, not size, obviously, because they're smaller so that you can take them with you, but this you can take with you as well. You just can't stuff it in your purse unless you have one of those really big purses, which a friend of mine has, and I'm amazed that she can carry that thing around. Okay, anyway, so this is what we've done so far in our folio. We've done the cover, but we haven't decorated it. We had to put the paper on so we could put the closure button on the front. We haven't attached the closure string yet because we don't know exactly how fat it's going to be. So we've got the cover done. We've got page 2 done, which has several large writing cards and a lot of little tags and things. Now, of course, if you're going to use this to take with you, you may want to take the tags out and use it to keep receipts or, you know, other things like that in, and then just keep your writing cards in. That's totally up to you. Then the next page, we made a paper bag folder with some large writing cards, so you could leave the writing cards in. Once again, you could take the tags out and use this to save other things. And I love our little mushroom with our little sweethearts. Then the next page, we made a large writing pad with coffee dyed paper and a nice cover that you can write on as well. It's held on by a belly band, and then we have this cool paper underneath. Okay, so we still have, let me get this back in the screen. We still have 5, which is what we're going to do today. We have 6 and we have 7. And 7 I'm really seriously considering doing a collage on. Instead of a separate collage, what I usually do at the end of a project, I'm thinking about doing it here because I think it would be pretty cool and decorative, you know, to open it up and have this nice collage. We might do a collage on the top part and a large pocket on the bottom. Like I said, I'm not really sure. I'm just really liking the collage idea. Okay, inside here we were going to have a book, but I didn't think that was going to be practical. So instead we're going to put a large expanding pocket here with a top to it so that you can string tie it shut. So obviously we're going to do some more string ties, and this is what we're going to need today to do this. We're going to need, let me move these down. We're going to need 2 manila folders with the tabs cut off. One's going to be for the lid, the top flap, and the other's going to be the actual pocket itself. Then we're going to need some paper for the top flap. And then we're going to tie in our stripes from our paper bag to cover the pocket itself with. I'd like to tie in the paper from underneath the notepad as well, with maybe some decoration on the side. We're just going to take a look at that. We're also going to need the pieces of, I'm going to use 65-pound cardstock and not manila folder for the hinges on the side to make it expandable, and that's because the manila folder is so thick. This is all the thickness that we need for the strength for the accordion style fold that we're going to do on either side. So that's that. So we're also going to need our tie string. We're going to need 2 brads. We're going to need our circle punch so we can punch out 6 circles. We're going to need our vintage photo ink so we can ink the papers the same way that we've inked other papers in our project so far. And then we're going to need our crocodile to punch out the correct size hole for our brads. Okay, we're going to need glue and a pencil and a ruler and scissors, and you know what I mean, all that basic kind of stuff as well. So I may end up putting this in 2 parts. We may make the bottom part and put the paper on. We have to put the paper on before we can do the brads. So we may do that first and then do the top and glue everything into the book in the second half. Okay, it just depends on how long it takes us. I really don't want to go longer than 40 minutes per part. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move these things out of the way for right now. Let's see, I'll put that up there. We're going to open up our book. Let's move our papers out of the way. And our side pieces. And we're going to be using a scoreboard as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, I've already pre-measured, but you're going to take 2 manila folders that you've cut the tabs off of. And we're obviously not going to use the full width. So we'll have some nice scraps. But when we open this up to page 5, I've erased the 5, which actually doesn't matter. We're going to measure the width between the gusset, which is actually possibly too large. Now I did bring it down 1 so that it's only 2 folds. If you remember that in our other video, we had it at 3, and now I've brought it down to 2 of the marks from the factory. Okay, don't worry, we're going to cover this. So that's another reason that a collage and a pocket would be great. Okay, so we're going to measure the width between our gusset fold and our other gusset fold for this thickness on this side. And when we do that, we move it over just a smidge, then we get a width of, let me measure here, let's see if I can get a round number. You know, we could go, if we go with 8, that should give us enough room. Should we go with 7 3/4? Actually, let's go with 7 3/4. That looks closer to what I had just marked by eyeballing it. So let's go with 7 3/4 wide. Okay, so we'll cut that. And then we won't be needing the rest for just a little bit. That's why I'm saying we might just do this part. I also have to go to the dentist this morning. Yay. My friend Kyung had to go to the dentist, and fortunately she's recovering. So I'm sure I will recover as well. Haha. Now we're going to use the top to determine where we put the brad in the bottom. We do need to put the paper on the on the bottom before we oh, and I cut this with my good blade. Not a good idea. So now we've got this scrap, which is a good scrap. We could use it as a flap on one of the pages. So be sure to save that. So now we've basically got our expandable pocket. You see what I mean? Without doing anything fancy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the gussets. So we're going to put it this way with the gussets on the back. This is my theory. I've never done one this way before. And just on the very first mark from the factory, we're going to go ahead and fold it. This first one is kind of a stinker sometimes. So, folding it backwards sometimes is easier, and then folding it forwards. There we go. I hate trying to get that center part to fold. So let's fold it like that. Get it to fold. Now let's get it to, you know, got our gusset. We do want it to expand, open this way. Let's do it like this. And then let's trim the back down, let's say 1 inch. Or a 1/2 inch. That way it doesn't stick out taller than the pocket. It'll be just a little bit lower. Looks like this is a little crooked anyway, so let's straighten it up 1/2 inch. Well, that seems quite a bit. Let's do 1/4 inch. We can always do more. We can't add more back on. I don't know why this would be crooked. Good blade. We better check this one. Okay. This is going to go up like this. It looks like that's going to make it even. So that's good. We can live with that. Okay, now what we're going to need to do, or what I think we should do, these are 2 pieces, and I can cut these down now. And we want them about half. We're going to put them up a little bit. Let's mark it about here. Okay, because we don't need it to go all the way up. We just need it to be far enough down that stuff doesn't fall out, and then just far enough up to make it stable when you pull it towards you. Okay? Now, like I said, I've never made one using the pre-made gusset at the bottom. Usually mine just go to a, you know, the fold at the bottom. So we'll see how that goes. Wow, looks like I cut myself already. Look at that. Yay. I don't even know what sharps we've had out yet. Oh, paper. I literally cut myself on the paper, and I have now officially gotten blood on the side fold. Let's cut one at a time. We can put it towards the inside. Nobody will know, and that will personalize my notebook just for me. Looks like I might need a Band-Aid. Unbelievable. These pieces are pretty small, but they might work in our collage. You never know. You know, licking this blood off did not really do a whole lot. Let's see if it's going to stop on its own. I can't believe I have a paper cut. I'm telling you guys, I'm not allowed next to sharps. I'm really not. Really, really, really. Now, I measured these, and they may be a little wide. These are 2.5 inches. I'm thinking we could get away with 2. That would get rid of the blood as well. Let's go with 2 and see how the folding goes. This is just 65-pound cardstock. I think I can throw the bloody piece away. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get out our scoreboard. And we're going to score 1/4 inch and that flap will be what we glue down. Okay. Then we're going to go, let's see, should we go 1/2? If we go 1/2, and then another, we would need 3/2. No. So we're going to go, let's see, Let's go a half for the point. We're going to need another half. It's a quarter. A half is 3/4, and another half is 1 1/4. And then a quarter to, I think I did that right. We may have needed one more. Okay, so this side is gonna, you know what, let's do the bigger ones first. It's gonna be a peak. So we're gonna fold it backwards so that it makes a peak. Yeah, we're going to need to cut this off here. I'm wondering if I should have done 1/4 inches. So let's make it flat. Maybe I'll make a pencil mark so I can see. Because we don't need to open it super far. So we want 1/4, a half, and 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so then we're going to make a peak out of the center. And when we do that, if you push down, that will give you your 2 folds to attach. And you want them to fold up. So we're going to fold it like this. Oops. I do this every time I make it crooked. I had it straight too. Okay, and we're going to need another one for the other side, so we're going to need to cut off a 1/2 inch. We need to come back and we'll do 1/4. Half, another half, and that will leave us another 1/4. Okay, so when you get done folding it, it's going to look like a little accordion, or like a W or an M. So we're going to make our peak in the middle. It's the easiest way I know of to do it. So you're going to fold it on that center score line first. Okay, then you're going to fold the side ones up. Okay, let's fold the other one up. This one's looking a little better than the first one, which I did by hand instead of by using my bone folder, which is what I should have done. So where I glue on is going to be a little crooked on that one. Oh, it's a little crooked on this one too. just want to make sure I'm going to have enough to glue. Yeah, should be all right. You're going to want the pointed side out when you glue it on. So that means we're going to turn this one this way and this one this way. I'm wondering if we should paper it first while it's flat. Let's fold the gusset. Let's fold it back flat so we know how big our surface is that we're going to cover. And then let's get our paper. And the reason we cover it first is because when we put the brad through, it's going to be on the outside. Let me show you, just like on the front of the book. The circle is going to be on the outside. So we're going to need to paper it first. So let's set our little accordions aside now that we've made them. Remember, we want to leave a little bit of a border all the way around. This is striped so we can flip it over. All right, so let's get everything straight and bring that down just a little bit. And we'll mark it here. And we'll mark it here. It's a little short. Okay. Kind of zooming along, I don't know. Kind of scares me. We're still not going to be anywhere near getting it finished. But okay, save your scrap. This scrap might possibly be large enough to do the top. So let's set this one over here. So now we're going to ink this. Let's double check the size. Looks a smidge narrow. I'm not sure why. Okay. It will work. Now if you stand this up on here while it's still wet, then you're going to have wet ink on there and then you're going to get it all over you. So I recommend laying it on its side until it dries before you stand it up on the lid. Just something that I've recently had experience with as far as in this project itself. We're going to get rid of this white along the edge is mainly what we're doing. You will see it a little on the lighter areas, which is fine. And it will give us a little demarcation from the cream color of the manila folder. So we'll get this done while it's flat. Okay, let's get our glue. Had my groceries delivered this morning, and normally my dog goes nuts. You guys all know Oz by now. And so he was actually sound asleep next to the heater, and he never even woke up when the guy delivered the groceries. He was like totally out of it. This paper's thin, but this Fabri-Tac will not leave a wrinkle line. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way here. And don't forget and accidentally glue it this way. We want the stripes to go up and down. Oops, and we want to go all the way down to the bottom. Let me try that one more time. I still want to put it over a little bit. There we go. It's kind of hard when you're looking at the other. Okay, so now I was thinking that we would want to put some of this on here. I think that would be kind of cool. Maybe over to the typewriter and the clock. And put this on here. So let's do 2.5 inches, or should we do 3? Oh, let's do 3. Why not? Oh, hold on just 1 second. I'm going to put you on hold. Okay, while we were on our quick break, I went ahead and cut this out and inked it so you didn't have to watch me do that. And I like the way that it looks right here. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. I made an executive decision while you guys were off having your snacks. But I fooled you. I went ahead and ate my tomato sandwich for this morning. That way you guys couldn't eat and make me hungry. Okay, that's how it opens. Make sure that your image is right side up to where your folder opens. Now I cut some off because it looked short. So now I'm going to put a little bit of stripe at the top and the bottom. So now, because now the picture is short. So I have no idea what happened, but or why it looked short to me, and I trimmed it. This looks like it could use a little bit of glue under here. Alright, now quit acting up. Alright, so now we've got that. Now we might be able to, I should have made that a tuck spot. What was I thinking? Anyway, why does this keep coming up? I put enough glue on there to hold it down forever. Okay, so now we're going to want to look at where this is going to be our top. mean, that's going to be taller than our top. You know what? Let's put our sides on. Okay, now you're going to take the small part, one of them, and you're going to glue it to your folder on the back side. Now, you want to make sure the point is facing towards the outside, so the peak on your W is going to go that way. So we're going to want to put it a little bit above the bottom. Put the paper even with the edge, or as close to even as you can get it. A little difficult sometimes. Especially in my case, because I folded mine a little crooked. So I'm going to make sure it goes right up to the edge, whether it's crooked or not. It'll be straight on here. Every time I run my finger up there, it makes it crooked. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, making sure the point faces out. So we're going to glue this side. Okay, and go kind of straight across from this one. Do the same thing. We're going to glue it with the flat side down. Okay, we're going to let that sit for just a second so it can dry. Okay, then all we have to do is flip this up. Okay, so let's put glue on here. And just make it flat. That one sticks out. I would have to say, unfortunately, not the best folding job I've ever done. If I could, I would move them back in so that you wouldn't notice, but the glue is already dry, I'm sure. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I can move them in just a little bit, because I made the point so large. This one I'm going to have to re-glue. I'm going to move it back just a little bit. It's going to make my pocket a little bit narrower on the inside, but I don't want the point to stick way out. Okay, so now while this glue is still wet, we're going to flip these up and we're going to glue them to the peaks. You see mine stick out a little bit, but at least they do on both sides. And now you see it's expandable. Please don't do like I did. Mine are crooked. So when they're crooked, it makes it stick out. Trying to slide it in. There we go. This one came unglued. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. I'm just going to re-glue the whole thing. So I'm going to re-glue the bottom. The reason it came unglued is because I was trying to slide it in further. So I'm just going to glue it in further. And I won't have to try to slide it, will I? I apologize for the trouble. Sometimes you're going to have trouble. Right here in River City. It starts with T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. So the easiest way to fix this is to, when you fold it down, make sure that your peak is even with the edge of your folder. And then now I can put the glue on the top part again. But this shows you how to fix a mistake. Now we'll just fold it down. At least I quit bleeding. It's so cold in here. I can't believe it didn't stop sooner. Yeah, so this side's a little crooked. Okay. Yes, I just pulled it all apart again. The glue hadn't set up yet. That's why I was able to do it. So I want my peak to be even with the edge or a little bit inside. You can see how crooked this is. And fold this back. Just really does not want to fold where it's supposed to fold. So you're not going to see any of this mistake. And I'm not going to edit it out, even though it would save 10 minutes of video time, because I want you to see how you fix a mistake when you make one. So we're going to hold these out so that they're flat, and we're going to flip this up. There we go. I was having a hard time living with it, to tell you the truth. Sorry, I'm off camera. I was holding it up close so I could see it. Okay. So now we've got our gusset. Which is facing the wrong way. But it will still fold out. Okay. How not to make one of these, apparently. Okay, so we're going to cover up our glue for now. And we need to figure out where we want to tie it, how far down. And the first thing we're going to do that is we're going to make our circles. We're going to take our leftover manila folder and make two circles, one for the top and one for the bottom. We're going to make complete circles, so you're going to put your manila folder all the way in. Okay. In fact, let's do double manila folder and single paper. Because we're going to be gluing them together. So all we're going to do is glue these together. This way we only have to find the center and make the hole once. So glue two of them together. Make sure they're all lined up. Glue the other two together. Make sure they're lined up. Make sure there's not a little string of glue going in between them. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what I was saying right before I put you on pause, because that was actually yesterday. So I do know that we left off, we had just made the circles, and then I realized that on the underside of the flap there's going to be the brad, the little flanges, and we're going to see them. So what I've decided to do is cut a third set of circles, third circle made out of two glued together, and we're going to use that with paper on it to cover the spot on the underside. So we're going to see if that works. If it doesn't, I've got a nice sticker picked out, but I don't think the sticker is going to cover the thickness. So I think we're going to be better off with this, and if we have to, we can use a strip of the paper and not completely cover the underside, but we can think of something to do. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, and I was having trouble with the video, so if we just have a segment in the middle that has to be reproduced and it doesn't seem right with this one, then I'm going to make another one of these freestanding like this to show you how to do it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we're not going to need this anymore, hopefully, so we can set it to the side. And what we want to do is we want to make the top flap. Now when we look at this, let's do this. Let's make our circles. We do need our circle punch. We need 3 circles with the stripes on them. Oops, not that one. Okay, now we're going to glue these 3 on here. That'll be our top, our bottom, and our cover. Our undercover cover. So we'll glue those on. You probably could have guessed that's what I was going to do anyway. You know, and during that long commercial break that probably seemed just like a second to you. It literally was a second for you and a day for me. Been having some back issues, a little bit of TMI, and so I had to take a break. Hopefully these continuing back issues are not going to affect the video scheduling of this series. I'm going to try to get it done. I record these ahead of time to give myself a little bit of leeway in case something like this happens. So I'm going to try to get this section done, and then I have to take a break for 5 days. And so we'll see how that goes, because we all know that I'm so non-hyper that I can lay in bed for 5 days. We'll see how that goes. All right, so let's put our circles up here so we don't lose them. All right, so let's see. Yeah, we're gonna need our quarter rounder. We're gonna need this. Oh, I was thinking of putting this strip over the top of it as well, like turning it sideways and making it like a stripe across the underside of the flap. So we'll put that there as well. It's too bad that this would make a terrible tie to go around those loops and go back, because this is what we've been using all along on the tops of our tags, and it's really cool. And well, technically I guess we could use it. We could try it out and see, but I think it's too thick to go under our paper circles. But anyway, that would be cool if we could use it, but I don't think we can. So we need to make a lid for our folder, or not. You don't have to make one. You can just as easily leave it just like that. And most of the time I do. But we're going to try to make a closure on this one. I've never done this with a manila folder before, so we're going to see how it goes. Now remember, this has thickness to it, so any lid that you put over it is going to kind of stick out if you don't give it a little bit of a gusset. And also when you have stuff in here and it's out and then you want to tie it, loop it shut, you want to make sure that that's gonna work. So what I did was I cut a piece of manila folder the same width, and I haven't trimmed the height at all, but the same width. And then we're going to use the factory lines. Let's see, I did a little demo. Where did it go? Oh, it's the one I punched holes out of. Okay, so it looked like I had it at 2. I think 2's still going to be fine. So let's go to the second factory line and fold it there. Let's use our bone folder and get a nice crease on that. This is our factory fold. Okay, so we've got it like this. Now it's up to you. When we put this on the page, quickly running out of room, aren't we? I just don't want to forget to ink the paper before we put it on the top, and I want to round the corners. So we've got it open. We're going to put it here on this page. And then we want to put the lid on. Now, the easy way to do it would be to slide it behind. Oh, I'm thinking I like the easy way. Would be to slide it behind and then just trim the top, the front. Or you can measure to here and make it even, you know, this part even down to the top of your pocket. Or if you don't mind seeing it, you can just make a 1/2 inch spot and glue the 1/2 inch down and just line everything up. So let's see, what are we going to do? If we overlap it, then we're not really going to see it, are we? Be kind of nice. Why don't we overlap it somewhat? Okay, the bottom of our pocket is there. Let's make the top of our pocket here. Bottom is here. Let's slide this over just a little bit. So let's find our pencil, which has now gone missing. This is a bad idea. Trying to find my pencil and I can't find it. Okay, so let's I'm trying to make the smallest mark possible. Now I'm going to find my pencil, which I have the strange feeling is over on my computer desk. Okay, I'm going to take my mic off for just a second. Okay, well, there you go. It's on my computer desk. Okay, so let's cut this off there. Then we can slide it down behind. Then all we have to do is cut this off to the length we want. And that will be easier because then we can just glue this lined up with the top, and then we know that it's going to cover down behind our pocket. I've made an executive decision at the last minute. I'm going to go just enough to make sure that little black dot does not show. Okay. Now we need to decide how long of a flap we want. I'm wondering if we're going to have to glue this in to do that, and I really would rather not. Well, we can't. Okay. That's going to go like that. Be kind of neat to have it flap all the way down. but we're not going to. All right, so let's say we want it to come down to about here. So then we'll cut it there. Wait a minute though. Let me think about this for a second. If it expands, let's make it a smidge longer. Okay, just about 1/8 of an inch. Remember, we can always cut another manila folder. We can always use manila folder scraps for circles. For making circles. Okay. Why does that not seem right? Oh, because it goes this way. No, actually it doesn't. Why, yes, it does. Okay, so then, because of the way we've made this, we can actually glue this together as a unit and glue it in as all one piece. I think I'm going to do that because that would make our life a lot easier, wouldn't it? I think it would. Do we want to cover this? If we do, we need to cover it afterwards. I think I found a piece that might be big enough. No, it isn't quite wide enough. Not quite. I'd have to find another whole sheet of paper just to cover the underside. I think I'd rather use the circle to cover the closure. Okay, so let's glue these two together. Then we can put it in as one unit. We can lift this open to stick our crocodile down in here to make our hole. This may not be the way you're supposed to do it, but this is the way I've decided to do it on the fly. Why not? Okay. All right, well, I'm liking that. I don't mind that it goes down that far because I glued it on backwards. That was going to be how much it flapped over in the front, wasn't it? But I kind of like it like this. Is this paper going to cover it now? Sure it will. And we have to remember, in fact, let's mark this top. Otherwise our stripes aren't going to line up. You know what I mean? If we put it on this way, then our stripes are not lining up. If we put it on this way, then we can line our red stripe up with our red stripe, and then we know everything is straight. Okay? All right, so that's actually our next step. We need to measure. We've got this. We just need to measure the height. Now, our gusset. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so we want to take this and then we want to cut it far enough up to cover this. Yeah, that looks like it'll do it. So you need to cover the top side of where the brad's going to be. And then you cover the back side last because that's where the prongs are. Okay? So we're going to glue this on here. We're going to ink it first. Oh, you know what? We need to round the corners. Okay, now let's round the corners on this. Let's make sure we're going in the right direction. Okay, that looks nice. Looks much better than it did square. I kind of like this. You could take this places. Okay, let's ink it. So yeah, I guess I've been sitting on this stool too much, doing too many tutorials, and I hurt my back. Well, that's not exactly what I hurt, but we'll just call it my back. I pinched a nerve. Not fun. Okay, but it is fun hanging out with you guys. That's probably why I sat on the stool too long. Okay, so let's put some glue on this. And then all we have to do is make the holes line up. They don't overlap. Remember, because that's what the string is for. Okay, we're just going to put this on here. How is it that that looks crooked? I think the fold at the top is crooked, because this is lined up. Okay. So now we've got that. So now this is an optical illusion. This red stripe is not the middle, even so it's kind of distracting. So let's take our ruler. And we want to remember that we want to be, since we want to use this circle to cover our brad underneath, then we want to make sure that we're at least, you know, you can't put it right there. You have to go up this way a little bit because we need enough room on the back side for the circle to cover it. Okay? And let's ink the circles. One, two. We're going to ink this third one, even though I do not know if we're going to need it or not. Okay, so what we want to do, let's get out 2 brads. And you guys will remember the brads from the cover. I explained how those work. Okay. So we want the 2 circles to be something like this. And put our stripes this way, even though they don't have to match. Yeah, they're all out of different pieces of the paper. Okay, so we could, no, because we have to punch the holes. Let's punch the holes in the center of the circles, not that one. Now, we're just going to flip them over. Take your ruler. These are 1-inch circles. If you go up in here, obviously that's not the center. So if you go to where it's exactly 1 inch wide, then you're in the center. Turn it the other way. Go to where it's exactly 1 inch wide. That, my dear friends, is not the center. That is the center. Let's just try it freehand. Still not the center. Now, how is it that I cannot draw 2 lines and make the center of a circle? Okay, so here I am with an epic fail on camera. Okay. That's our center. That's our center. Okay. Good grief. It's a circle. So now I'm going to get out my crocodile. I'm going to set it on the smaller setting. And then I'm going to line it up just like I did before. Punch a hole in the center. Do it again. Okay. Now, we need to decide where we're going to put them on here. This is my bright idea, is to take the pencil and mark where we want the holes on here. So if we decide that's what we want to do, then if I mark a circle or a dot right there, a dot right here, let's measure in to see if there is center or close to center. All right, that's exactly 4 inches. All right. Yep, 4 inches. This needs to go over just a smidge. Okay, so then we'll use our crocodile to make our holes there. You have to be very quiet. And then we're going to have to slide this down inside. Which we can do, but all right, I'm going to put you on hold here. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, we're going to line this up with the hole or the dot. We're going to make our hole. Okay. Now, we're going to have some fun because when we put our circle and our brad in, we need to flatten it, the prongs, right? And that's going to be way down in our pocket. So we're going to put them through. And we're going to open them. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but trust me. Okay, I'm going to open them a little bit because I can't get a grip in between there. Yeah, that. So it'll still fit through, but then I've got a little bit of a gap there to work with to pull them apart. I'm going to flatten it, and then I'm going to smooch it and flatten it. Now I'm going to put a piece of tape on it so that whatever you put in and out doesn't catch on it. Except the tape is stuck to my thumb too well. Okay, success. All right, now all we have to do is this one. Okay, let's see if our circle's gonna work. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. Let's get our stripes going the same way. Instead of covering the whole underside, I kind of like the idea of it being the manila folder. Some of you may want to cover yours. You can cover them if you want. You know, with paper. Okay, so we've got all that and a biscuit. Let's not have that tape on there too well. Nope, it's on there. Oh, because I'm only turning the paper, I'm not turning the brad. I am so silly. Okay, so now all we have to do is glue this into here. And then put the string on. Oh, I know how it ended up. I'm not sure how it ended up so short. Oh, I am sure. Because we made it and then we were going to put the lid up here. That's all right. Or is it all right? Guess what? It's going to have to be all right. So we'll put it here. And then we'll put something else across here. See, I made a mistake. If I had not put this on here, if I had glued it up here, and then made the lid longer, then we would have had a taller pocket. However, this pocket appears short anyway, somehow. So I think we're going to leave it at that. Let me figure it out. And then we will come back in the next video. This is already running really long. It shows you how to make one. And then we will see what I did. And then obviously it was just a measuring issue. But it looks really nice. So I may just put it in the middle of the page. And just say that's what we've got, and I may put it at the bottom, and then I know what I'll do. I already know what to do. I know what to do. We're going to go ahead and put it at the bottom, and then we're going to make a loop and a place to put a pen. That's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to put it completely at the bottom. But then we could take this square, this paper, it isn't quite wide enough. Yeah. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna say this is the end of this video because it's running really long, and then when we come back we'll do the next page, but we'll finish this part up first. Okay? All right. That's it for this video, and I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay. Bye-bye.